All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a 2v2 matchup. Infi and Fly going up against XiaoKai and 15 Shui. We are looking at, well, 15 Shui, the only Night Elf here, spawning as the teal Night Elf at what I will call the 8 o'clock position. His partner to the south of him, XiaoKai, spawning as the teal Orc. Not to be confused with the colors on the top left-hand side of the map, we have Infi spawning as the red human, followed by Fly spawning as the red orc. 2v2 matchup should be great. Well, players who need really no introduction. Very strong players as we're looking at Fly opening things up with an Altar of Storms. There's that Orc Burrow. No Voodoo Lounge. No Barracks. Nope, there's a Lumber Mill. So we may have a very fast tech to tier 2. That lumber mill does speed up lumber harvesting just a little bit, and it allows you to use that gold, or is it going to go Farseer Headhunters? Farseer Headhunters. So lumber mill before there. Oh, I am wrong. Shadow Hunter first coming across from Fly. Meanwhile, we are looking at an Archmage coming from Infi. Down to the south side here, well, XiaoKai opening things up with the Farseer. There's a Barracks. There's that Lumber Mill. This is the traditional build that I was looking for. And then finally, a Demon Hunter as from the Night Elf. Ancient of War already training up that archer there. Should be able to easily clear out this mercenary creep camp. A 4-3-3-2-2 creep camp. Ancient of War going to be taking quite a bit of damage, but should be nicely healed back up as well. Wisps also coming over as the archer now looks to back away. Is the Ancient of War going to try and gain something? Oh, ensnares going down onto one of the wisps, so repairs are going to be just a little bit more difficult. Archmage already out on the battlefield. We can see Militia now being called out as well. Archmage getting up that water elemental, and we're going to see a double clear out of this mercenary camp. Water elemental already out on the battlefield here. There's some ensnares going down across multiple targets. 2 of the 4 militia unable to actually deal damage, as we may see a detonation onto a wisp, but it looks like it was still killed by the workers there. Coming back across to the south side here, Demon Hunter looking to get to level 2, should be able to do exactly that. Farseer perhaps got a little bit too close there, as we see a slight engagement with Furbolgs. Demon Hunter sitting at level 1. Farseer with those Spirit Wolves going to be able to clear out these units out across the map, as the early portion of this game is turning into, well, a creep race. Trying to creep across the map as quickly as possible, as efficiently as possible. Archmage gets up to level 2. Shadow Hunter had purposely backed away to give level 2 to the Archmage, and now with the level 2 Archmage, well, that regeneration, or that Brilliance Aura for faster regeneration on mana, well, should definitely help out that Shadow Hunter as well. Are we going to perhaps see some Healing Wave bounce around? Not quite sure what the skill was, as that Shadow Hunter now makes its way down to the south. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter, Farseer are going to be getting into position here. Things could go sideways quickly. Demon Hunter already sitting at level 2. Are we going to aggro the creeps? No, we are not. Archmage is nearby, and here we have the Demon Hunter trying to give a little bit of a chase. Here we are, here we go. No Hex, as the Demon Hunter does get a mana burn off there, so it is not Hex. That would have been a perfect time for a Hex. No Hex there, as the units now fall back once more. Ancient of War has been rerouted, should be able to crank out units. Footman, Headhunters, Forest, or Dark Troll Shadow Priest, not the Forest variety. Not that I really know the difference, as units now pulling back again. As these two teams try to re-engage or engage against each other, both are just trying to find the right opportunity to attack and just try and pounce on their opponent. However, these creeps, these level 6 and level 4 berserkers, do represent a large amount of damage. Level 2 to the Farseer now given, Spirit Wolves being resummoned, as there are a lot of Headhunters and Archers. The amount of range coming in from the, well, 15 Sway and XiaoKai cannot be ignored. However, the Demon Hunter is now kind of forced to play in this front line position as a major tank. He needs to get some sort of rejuvenation going, but does have decent armor and also most likely evasion going for him, so his effective hit points is good. Shadow Hunter does find Hex, and hexes down the Demon Hunter. And, well, without that frontline hero absorbing a lot of that damage, all of these range units, well, do not want to try to go straight up against these defending footmen. Archmage just shy of level 3. Shadowhunter is at 2. As the units now look to fall back here. All right, you're going to see a little bit of damage. Well, there goes one wolf. Well, as we are looking at Fly picking up a Pit Lord as a second hero. Spirit Wolf is going to try to go after that Headhunter. It doesn't look like it. Water Elemental going to get taken down instead. As the Shadowhunter gets to level 2, perhaps going to be able to get to level 3. All right, the Orc player has gone Shadowhunter first with a Pit Lord second. I don't think I've ever said that sentence in all of my years of Warcraft 3 casting. Coming back around. All right, Orc Burrow is going to be under pressure. We are already going into Fortress. This is actually very heavy. Reinforced defenses have not been started. Fly is going to be forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal to try and defend against all this. And, well, in comes the landing. No, it is not Fly. It is going to be Infi instead, who lands on top and says, well, I am here to try and protect my partner. Naga Sea Witch as the follow-up hero alongside a 15 Sway. I'm going to clean things up here. 15 Sway clearing out of these wolves and now picking up a potion of invulnerability. Could be transferred to the Demon Hunter, as the Demon Hunter may be that front line hero. Right on the other neck of the woods, so to speak, Archmage continuing to clear out creep camps. Blood Mage as the follow-up hero should be able to siphon mana pretty easily, as we're looking at a couple of dire wolves getting cleaned up here. Low hit point footman trying to retreat back. Well, Shadowhunter not going to scout any of this here, as the Archmage with a bunch of low hit point footmen, well, having a bit of problems. Blood Mage not bringing in a Scroll of Regeneration as I originally would have thought, as there are now priests joining in on the fight. Archmage could perhaps potentially creep jack the Farseer and the Shadowhunter. Problems could arise here. There's a Water Elemental. There's going to be some damage, and that's going to be a dead, well, Headhunter already, but traded for a Footman. There goes another Footman, and more Footmen could end up falling. Footman now Footman now trying to defend back, but doesn't protect against the damage of those wolves. Footman now down to 29 hit points. Another critical strike. Archmage going to try and finish off the wolf there. We see level 2 now on the Shadowhunter, level 3 on the Farseer, as the Naga Sea Witch will going to start being able to pick apart some of the militia that were called to arms. Level 3 now on the Demon Hunter, level 2 mana burn. Most likely inbound, as the militia were called into battle only to be thrown into the fire. A bunch of units nearby ready to take them down, being able to divide and conquer. Blood Mage below 25 mana will not be able to siphon mana. Pit Lord sits at level 2, does have Devotion Aura, and we'll see what comes of this Pit Lord Shadowhunter combination. All right, level 8 Ursa Warrior alongside some other Furbolg warriors here. That's going to get cleared up easily. Meanwhile, Farseer, Raiders now putting in pressure, going to catch a priest out in transit and another priest out in transit as well. That siege damage going against those unarmored units does make short work of them. Meanwhile, off to the north here, the Pit Lord wants to finish this off here, perhaps try and take down some of these units. Taking down the Shamans, well, removing that rejuvenation is important. Repairs are underway, but it doesn't look like that tower is going to be able to hold. Infi is going to be in some major troubles. Siphon mana hasn't really been used by that Blood Mage either. More healing here as the militia clearing up the remainder of those, well, Spirit Wolves and getting the Archmage to level 4. Infi looking to, set up an expo at what I'll call the 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock position. Down on the southern side, well, Naga Sea Witch at level 2, Demon Hunter sitting at level 3. Druids of the Claw now out on the battlefield with that mastery training. Roar cast across all of those archers here, but no improved bow or improved damage archers just quite yet. It looks like we may be transitioning away from archers, perhaps going into, bears and dryads, as the Druids of the Claw get out onto the battlefield here. Are we going to see a couple of easy attacks? We are, as the Naga Sea Witch sits at level 3. Couple more rejuvenations could be useful as well. Rejuvenate yourself, get yourself ready for those upcoming battles. Infi looking to set up an expo at the 10 o'clock spot also setting up a tower here as both teams go to their respective corners to clear out their local creep camps. Destroy your local creep camps to level up. I guess that is going to be the strategy of the day, as the Murloc Tide Runners are all going to get cleaned up here. Shadowhunter could try to back away, perhaps give more experience to the Pit Lord, as the Pit Lord does have a large amount of armor and a fast attack speed. Dual Gloves of Haste coupled with Devotion Aura and dual Rings of Protection +4 makes this Pit Lord a very, very dangerous frontline hero. Add in the fact that he could be going for Howl of Terror, and he could greatly reduce the amount of damage those frontline units are in fact dealing. Tome of Intelligence, Healing Wards, are they going to get picked up? They should be. Why are they not? No item spots, perhaps. Yeah, that appears to be the problem. Meanwhile, we see a Water Elemental going up against a Dire Wolf here. Water Elemental should come out on top with more hit points. Let's take a look. Archmage coming across here to pick up those Healing Wards. And, well, the Shadowhunter made room himself anyways. Battle ready to rage on at this Northern Expo. Scout Tower, Scroll of Town Portal. Are we going to see repairs? Arcane Tower is now done. Repairs. There's the incoming army ready to put in, getting into position here. Berserkers are, well, there with a little bit more hit points. Arcane Tower getting in some feedback damage onto that Demon Hunter, removing some of that precious mana. Meanwhile, well, the Raiders are looking to do some hit and run tactics. Archmage, Spellbreakers, well, there's a slow cast onto one Raider there. That Raider will end up getting taken down. Ensnare going down to a Berserker, just trying to trade blows as we see the, well, Orc and a Night Elf army battling it up. Healing Wave bouncing around. Demon Hunter trying to get into that frontline spot. There's that Howl of Terror that I was mentioning earlier. Great damage reduction. Well, pretty much neutralizing that roar damage bonus. Pit Lord down to 200 hit points already. Potion of Invulnerability will give him a little bit of additional healing, but it looks like, yes, he is still getting healed by that Healing Ward or perhaps a Rejuvenation. Now still bouncing around, still trying to fight its way through. Fly could be in a lot of trouble. Shadowhunter, oh, there goes a banish onto the Pit Lord. Pit Lord actually getting banished here, able to live and fight another day. Healing Wave just a little bit late here, as the Arcane Tower is not within range of hitting anything just quite yet. Both sides fighting on both sides. Raiders, well, a battle across both sides here. Raiders trying to retreat back. Water Elementals, triple Water Elemental, perhaps going to try and take down a unit or two, but, well, Insomnia or XiaoKai's heroes or XiaoKai's Raiders able to ensnare and just constantly do hit and run tactics on these lower hit point units. Teal, well, trying to win by slowly picking apart their opponent here, but without any sort of Staff of Sanctuary or Staff of Preservation, the low hit point Raiders, they can dive in a bit too far. All right, there's a Scroll of Town Portal units trying to retreat back here. Shadowhunter coming across from XiaoKai, able to retreat back. All right, we're looking at 48 supply and 49 supply going up against 55 supply, or 55 supply and 46 supply. So 20 gold a second compared to 24. Not that big of a difference. Both sides looking to see and, well, unfold their master plan to try and deal some lasting damage. Shadowhunter is at what? Shadowhunter sitting at level 4. Archmage sitting at level 4. I believe that was a tiny Great Hall based on how quickly that building was well completed. And now with Fly setting up a second base off to the north, and it could be very difficult to try and clean that up. Meanwhile, down to the south here, there is some rejuvenation, there are some roars, and here comes some battles. Blood Mage has some siphon mana trying to shut down enemy heroes. There's a mana burn there. Blood Mage may try to, well, siphon more mana away from the Demon Hunter, but the Demon Hunter, oh, gets hexed right there. There's some siphon mana. Are we going to see an ensnare there? No, we are not. Demon Hunter able to back up. There's a tactical Scroll of Town Portal to try and retreat, and there you see all of those units falling back. Meanwhile, Scroll of Town Portal to try and defend Infi's base. Raiders able to take down one Arcane Sanctum as the Farseer says, nope, time to leave. Let me get out of here as well. Tactical hit and runs on both sides. Scroll of Town Portal inbound here. The Healing Ward quickly getting cleaned up. Fly trying to do hit and runs with these Raiders as well, just like XiaoKai, but XiaoKai able actually to take down a building against Infi. Meanwhile, this Expo down to the south by 15 sway, still holding on tight as this entangled gold mine is now completed. Well, 24 gold per second compared to 24 now, I believe will be the case. Let's take a look. 53 supply and 55. No, it's 21 gold a second now compared to 24. Slight differences. Now, as this game still continues to unfold, both sides trying to jock for position and come out on top. I forgot about Fly's additional Expo right here. This Expo now in a great, giving additional gold. So was that 28 gold compared to 24? As the Raiders able to take down these watchtowers. The watchtowers with fortified armor actually taking additional damage by siege instead of if they just had heavy armor. All right, incoming Scroll of Town portal. Raiders should be able to keep take down this Great Hall. Excuse me. There's a roar. There is the death right there. Even with triple Raiders banished, still enough damage to be had. Add in the roar and a couple of Druids of the Claw, and that damage was able to stick around. Blood Mage getting taken down by a Fork Lightning. Farseer, Shadow Hunter, Naga Sea Witch continuing to move forward. Potion of Invulnerability here. Now, Orc trying to reinforce the army from behind. A massive battle. Blood Mage falls at level 2 as both sides are still fighting their way through. Blood Mage, or Pit Lord, now needs to dive on into the front line spot. Perhaps Howl of Terror could be useful, but he needs to get surrounded by all of these additional units first. Is he going to be able to finish off any of these units? That is the question. There's that Howl of Terror. There's a little bit of damage, and trying to go after these archers again and again. Low hit point, Druid of the Claw able to stay. Well, is he going to? Nope, not going to be able to stay alive, as both sides are still fighting its way through. All right, Fly using that cleave on that Pit Lord to try and maximize damage. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter able to mana burn down the Shadow Hunter into, not being able to do very much follow-up. Kodo Beast does have a Raider in its belly. Healing Wave still bouncing around as the Pit Lord looks to try and finish off more units. Staff of Preservation for the save there. Demon Hunter could be in trouble. There's a Hex, and now the Demon Hunter does end up falling, I believe, at level 4. Blood Mage of Infi gets up to level 3 as we now see a push going back the other way. Another ensnare, another sure death, and that's just what exactly Fly has wanted. Meanwhile, the Southern Expo, the Tree of Life was taken out, so it is now 3 bases versus 2. Fly could try and reestablish up that Town Hall, but it may take a little bit of time. Raiders coming across here. In comes a Staff of Teleportation. Archmage drops a Water Elemental as the Farseer Shadow Hunter now looks to retreat back again. 46 supply and 56 supply going up against 37 supply and 47 supply. Raiders, a couple of ensnares down, trying to slow down these units. Multiple Druids of the Claw could get cleaned up. Naga Sea Witch trying to retreat with all of those units back home. Saves all of those ensnared units, and perhaps going to allow them to get rejuvenated and feel healthy once more. Tree of Life being rebuilt off on the southern position, that 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock spot. Fly now leading the charge down south here on Tidewater Glades, perhaps looking to pick off a unit or two. There goes another Raider. Ensnare, slow followed by Ensnare. That Raider really having nowhere to go, nothing to do or see except visit the afterlife, as the Raiders are now looking to dive into and take down the Voodoo Lounge. All right, new Arcane Vault trying to be rebuilt. That's quickly going to get canceled. There's a couple of guard towers here, and guard towers here. One Arcane Tower trying to feed back damage. The Raiders able to take down a farm or two, as the Sorceress's Priest and now looking to take down the fortress. This is turning into a real base race scenario as the fortress is about to fall. There it goes. Insomnia now no longer having his main mining hall and not being able to mine anything anymore. Raiders are still getting lost here. Meanwhile, Blood Mage, Staff of Teleportation inbound, looked like a Scroll of Town portal, forcing all of those other units back. Infi looking to rebuild lost towers here as the Archmage, continuing to put pressure, looking to shut down peasants and other units perhaps. All right, couple of peons going to end up falling. Archmage staying at 5. Shadowhunter staying at 5. Pit Lord staying at 5. You can see that swipe damage finishing off so many units easily as the Water Elemental is now in the back position trying to, well, hold on. Peon, well, I wonder what an invisible Kodo Beast looks like if it's digesting an enemy unit. Do you still see it even though it is invisible? I don't know. I don't think that situation's ever really come up in all of my years of casting. Or in all of my years of playing, because in casting it still looks the same. Coming back around, Pit Lord fighting its way through. Howl of Terror going after all of these Raiders and all of these other units. Another mana burn onto the Archmage. Archmage down to 350 hit points and dropping quickly. There's a Hex. It looks like the Archmage should be able to survive it. Perhaps try to use a Scroll of Town Portal to head back out. Farseer leaves the game, and that is going to be it. Infi and Fly outlasting 15 Shui and XiaoKai here on the WarCraft 3 All-Star League Season 1, a monthly 2v2 tournament. Here are the final scores. Fly and Infi, well, with a commanding lead. Resource score actually belonging to Infi, but the hero score and the big advantage right there, a level 6 Shadowhunter and a level 5 Pit Lord for Fly.